Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. Welcome to Universal Peace Television, the channel ORFBC Hoffman FFN on YouTube. This is the broadcast. Bakr al-Baghdadi audio recording may prove ISIS leader still alive. Prepare for chemical attack. So we see several posts, ISIL posts, quote, Baghdadi audio, quote, issuing, quote, resistance, quote, call. So, the Baghdadi audio is between quotation marks, so they doubt the authenticity of this recording, I presume. And I thought, let's read some of this stuff. I can close the other links. Oh yeah, this is a watch face that I've made for my new watch. Sessions. So this is the website where you can generate your own watch face for the Pebble watch. It's really nice. I'll bookmark it fast and then move to the next page. Well, for example, I was watching this and I was wondering if this is a recording of his voice, basically. And later on in the recording, there's English in there. Let's check this video.
قال تعالى: فلم يكلفنا بالنصر. قال تعالى: ومن يقاتل في سبيل الله فيقتل أو يغلب فسوف نؤتيه أجرا عظيما.
So one thing I noticed is that the sound quality is very good. Must be an expensive mic. And that there are no closed captions with all of these Arabic videos. Practically all of them have no closed captions, no translation underneath it. At least not when it comes to this recording of the alleged ISIS leader's voice. And this is covered on Google News. Let's see if it's still on there. I clicked already. It should. And then. Tom Price apologizes for private charter flights, pledges to repay taxpayers nearly $52,000. ICE arrests hundreds of immigrants in, quote, sanctuary cities, unquote, around the nation, California and Los Angeles Times 2 hours ago. And here we see ISIS leader seemingly breaks 11-month silence in audio recording, CNN 6 hours ago. Highly cited ISIS releases recording said to be of its leader, New York Times 9 hours ago. IS reclusive leader rallies followers in purported new audio. In-depth ABC News 9 hours ago. Baghdadi breaks his silence, Euronews. ISIL releases quote, new recording of leader. Full coverage. What happens if I click on this? So, that recording is not online. So then the question is, how did they get that recording? For example, if this is a recording, here, on, what is this, newsy? Maybe the original source. Like news, see? Anyway, then where did they get the recording if it's not online? I cannot find it anywhere. There's an older recording of his voice, I think. But I've just browsed for a couple of minutes and I thought, when I'm gonna do that anyway, then I might as well do a broadcast about it. So after all this fake news with these crisis actors, I am more critical of what I read and see in videos. I also know that there's music underneath this, and it's highly edited is the idea. Anyway, let's listen to some more of this.
بالنصر قال تعالى ومن يقاتل.
ISIS released a new audio recording threatening Israel. How can there be messages posted in reply 1 year ago? So this is an old recording basically, so that is not interesting. So this is a new one. Never mind. This is the Al Jazeera article. See that it mentions Israel. No. This also doesn't mention Israel. Well, we can see what CNN has to say. That was basically in the full coverage, it's the top headline, the first headline, also mentioned in the overview. So then, let's listen to this main mainstream media coverage, the fake news.
This new tape, apparently, of the ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi has just been released. CNN Chief National Security Correspondent Jim Sciutto is with me now. And Jim, I know that there had been rumors or thoughts that perhaps he'd been killed. Is it him, and what does he say?
Well, I have no frame drop, so I think that it may be a browser-related problem or whatever. I've had it with other videos as well.
Community, the Office of the Director of
Is it him, and what does he say?
Well, the U.S. intelligence community, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, just moments ago telling us at CNN that, quote, they have no reason to doubt the authenticity of this new audio recording from the ISIS leader, though they caution it is not yet a final assessment. It's a 46-minute recording. It would break if confirmed, a 10-month silence by al-Baghdadi. It's a 46-minute recording. It would break if confirmed, a 10-month silence by al-Baghdadi, and in it you hear a leader here trying to urge on his troops.
Well, I'm also broadcasting, but I think they are blocking this with synthetic telepathy. They are messing with it, with everything, basically, including your brainwaves with synthetic telepathy.com, as explained in the Mijdrecht patent in my previous broadcasts. You all can find out more about it online, of course. And the search results are controlled, and recently people have been unsubscribed from my YouTube channel, so they're selectively blocking YouTube channels. And the question is YouTube doing that itself, or is there someone else, a hacker, doing this? But people have mailed me that they were unsubscribed, not by me.
ISIS fighters who, as you know, and we've been community, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, just moments ago telling us at CNN that, quote, they have no reason to doubt the authenticity of this new audio recording from the ISIS leader, though they caution it is not yet a final recording. It would break if confirmed, a 10-month silence by al-Baghdadi, and in it you hear a leader here trying to urge on his troops. ISIS fighters who, as you know, and we've been reporting for months now, have been under enormous pressure there. Coalition, U.S.-led coalition airstrikes, loss of territory to Iraqi forces, U.S.-backed forces in both Iraq and Syria. So this, you hear the al-Baghdadi urging on ISIS fighters to stand up, stand firm, stand strong in the face of this, while at the same time taking some shots at the U.S. And Brooke, this is one of the reasons why the U.S. intelligence community believes this may very well be authentic. That's because he only taken place in the last few weeks. For instance, he references North Korean threats to the U.S. and Japan. He references Russian military activity in Syria, the fact that Russia is still in Ukraine in defiance of the West. So all these things, because of that timely information, giving some confidence that this is in fact the ISIS leader. In addition, typically, Brooke, when you get an audio recording like this, what analysts do is they of course listen to the voice, and they have
So I've read that there's 25 million US dollar reward on his head. I don't know if that was in the CNN article. $25 million bounty, according to the al-Jazeera.com article. So I was wondering, how hard can it be to track this guy down, basically, for $25 million? They are capable of torturing my teeth out of my mouth one by one with synthetic telepathy. They're scanning our minds and shit. And they supposedly cannot find Mr. Bakr al-Baghdadi. Tim Osman is a real name, according to some sources online. And what the source is doesn't matter if the information is true. So he would still be alive, perhaps looking different without a beard and stuff like this. Let's hear the rest of the video. It's almost finished.
Other recordings of his voice, and they look to see if there is a voice match. I'm told that that assessment is not complete, but as I said right at the top there, Brooke, that they have no reason at this point to doubt the authenticity of this.
Leader of an ISIS-affiliated...
Well, if Donald Trump calls CNN fake news, and of course there is a reason to doubt the authenticity of everything if you want to find out the truth, but some people don't care. Just have their opinions ready based on their feelings and emotions instead of logic and common sense. So if CIA supplied them with weapons, then the CIA are the bad guys, or what? And what do you all think? Are they going to do an EMP attack, or a chemical attack, or something else? They've said they were going to attack Washington also. So let's read the article with this video about the releasing of the tapes. The white tapes, perhaps, or whatever. Or are they black tapes?
CNN. The leader of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, seems to have broken his 11-month silence with a long audio message in which he mocks the United States, calls on jihadis to rally against the Syrian regime and insists that ISIS remains despite its rapid loss of territory. A spokesman with the U.S. Office of the Director of National Intelligence told CNN, "We are aware of the audio tape purported to be of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and are taking steps to examine it. While we have no reason to doubt its authenticity, we do not have verification at this point." New details on the hunt for ISIS leader Baghdadi. New details on the hunt for ISIS leader Baghdadi. The speech seems to have been recorded relatively recently, as it references North Korean nuclear threats against Japan and the United States, as well as Syrian peace talks, in which Russia, Turkey and Iran are trying to extend ceasefires across Syria. The release appears to late to rest claims by the Russian military that they had almost certainly killed Baghdadi in an airstrike near Raqqa on May 28. U.S. officials say ISIS has largely been forced out of Raqqa as well as Mosul, and Baghdadi may be somewhere in the middle Euphrates River Valley. That is an area that straddles Syria's border with Iraq, to which much of the group's leadership is thought to have relocated earlier this year.
We got to go and we got to knock the shit out of these people.
Universal peace now.
Not yet.
A spokesman for the U.S.-led coalition fighting ISIS said they were not aware of the audio recording. "This is the first I've heard about it," U.S. Army call. Ryan Dillon, a spokesman for Operation Inherent Resolve, told reporters Thursday at the Pentagon by teleconference from Baghdad. Dillon later added, "Without verifiable evidence of his death, we have continued to assume he's alive." Dillon said he was sure our people are looking at the recording, and if there is any information in the recording as to his location, we may have folks moving in right now. ISIS and number 39, retreat accelerates, but reports of its demise are exaggerated. ISIS retreat accelerates, but reports of its demise are exaggerated. In his 46-minute message, Baghdadi urged fighters, the Mujahideen, to persevere, and to show that the bloodshed in Mosul, Raqqa and elsewhere was not in vain by clashing the shining swords and shedding filthy blood. He appealed for jihadi attacks worldwide, claiming that America, Europe and Russia are living in a state of terror, according to a translation provided by the site Intelligence Group, which tracks jihadi groups. Baghdadi also rallied Sunni Muslims against the Shia, saying that they would never accept half solutions, especially after all the destruction and the gains they've made. This appears to be a reference to Iran's growing reach across the region. Scholar Hussan, who has written a book about the rise of ISIS, said in a tweet that a key theme of Baghdadi's speech was that he sees ISIS's fight as a ceaseless war of attrition to deplete enemies. In that regard, Baghdadi claims the U.S. decision not to send ground troops to Syria as vindication of ISIS's strategy. In fact, the United States has several hundred combat troops in Syria. Baghdadi says the U.S. suffers from fatigue and Russia has taken control of the Syria situation. Baghdadi also echoes the message of another ISIS leader, Abu Muhammad al-Adnani, who declared that holding territory mattered less than the will to fight. Adnani was killed in 2016. In his speech, Baghdadi says that the Prophet had not told his companions when or how Islam would be victorious, so that they don't make victory or defeat dependent upon losing territory or some of the believers being killed. Both U.S. and Russian air power, as well as a variety of ground forces, are active in the area, but ISIS still holds some towns on the Euphrates.
Yeah, I thought it looks cool. And I can do another video where I post a link to this watch face. It's in this video, so when I clicked away, so you can rewind and find the URL. It's easy to type it in. But when you do these watch faces, then it's a good idea to use aluminum foil, so you don't fry your brain and your body, cancer, cell phone radiation, microwaves, cause cancer, DNA breaks, and lumping red blood cells. And it's a test you can do yourself. I forgot to turn the echo off. It was the idea to only do the intro, basically. With echo. And the mic is a bit soft, so I have to get really close to the mic. Like this, it's better, I guess. So what have we read? Living in a state of terror. Well, basically I think it is true with synthetic telepathy being real, and the idea is attacking these leaders, Jesuits and Masons, that are responsible for the depleted uranium war crime and the tactical nukes going off in Syria, not covered by the mainstream media, etc. I can show the picture of depleted uranium babies again. But I don't want to do that too much. I have been monetized. I'm monetizing my videos, supposedly. That goes automatically, I think. So I've switched it on. I've made an account, etc. And it has been accepted, so then that should work. I don't know if I also have to select videos that I want monetized. Internal server error. So they've changed it. There was a different type of error usually when going to videos directly, and that could be an indication that might happen to everybody that they are selectively blocking to depopulate the Earth and create a Luciferian global government. So they're also using directed energy weapons. And I've covered these 6 Jews that want to depopulate the Earth in my previous videos. And also the non-Jews helping them, of CNN, for example, Ted Turner, clear from his book quotes and statements. And of course also the $1 million costing Georgia Guidestone. So some people are bloody serious about depopulating the Earth. But if these people are attacked with directed energy weapons and they hear a voice in their heads that tells them what to do, then it becomes clear what's really happening here. I have to put some other thumbnails on this. What was I going to check? So you can see the low number of views. And sometimes the views are also not, the number of views is not correct. Sometimes it has more views than listed, and also sometimes less. So one time one of my videos had over 60 views and then it went down to 10 or something. So perhaps somebody's hacking my account and stuff. And it's easy to hack the YouTube counter yourselves, but that's illegal. There are also legal methods to get more views. but I'm not so much about more views. Some of my videos have 15,000 views, but from a certain point they were selectively blocking my videos, so that's why there are less views. So please like and subscribe, and also I think we should protest against YouTube selectively blocking videos if they are really doing that. That YouTubers that they're doing that too should unite on internet and then let the world know what's happening, because they're not going to tell you about this in the mainstream media. They cannot, because they're CIA controlled. Coke in America, cancer chemtrails in America, CIA. CIA did not to leave any trace of evidence. Anyway, I forgot what I wanted to do. They're also selectively erasing people's memory. 129 subscribers. Well, then they haven't unsubscribed them all. So if that happens, you can just resubscribe. So people seem to think, or perhaps it sends the idea, that most of the news in the mainstream media is truthful and accurate. They have no reason to doubt what they are reporting. But since some people are trying to create a crisis big enough to impose a totalitarian regime, that's phase 3 of active measures ideological subversion. And of course, 90% of the mainstream media are Jewish owned. And there are 6 Jews that want to depopulate the earth. I think I've made clear in my previous broadcast that I'm not blaming all the Jewish people. And that's a recurring example. And also non-Jews are doing that, so I've made clear that, for example, Jewish babies cannot even speak yet, so they cannot be in on depopulating the earth, etc. And that there are also lots of non-Jews doing this, mainly Jesuits and Masons. And these are secret society members, so most people don't know who these Masons and Jesuits are, basically. So that's another thing I've covered in previous broadcasts. The extreme Jesuit oath, the Luciferian oath, and the Illuminati blood oath murders, all in one broadcast. So that's one to watch. I think that was a good broadcast. But recently I've been making many more better broadcasts, and I've also been working a bit more on the thumbnails. These thumbnails were chosen by me, basically. Sometimes I chose the one. I've already shown how you can choose the thumbnail in the live dashboard when you broadcast. There's also, I don't know if that's new, but now you can select a thumbnail with the live broadcast. So you can pre-select a thumbnail, and then when this video shows up live, people can Skype me now if they want to chat. I think that would be nice. Skype ProLogic999, that's taking a while to switch. Oh yeah, right top corner, ProLogic999, that's my Skype name. And people can always Skype me. Single ladies between 16 and 60 are welcome for a free shiatsu hand massage. And we can also, you can ask me questions via Skype, so you can be a live caller in this broadcast. Or we can do a broadcast about a specific subject if you like. Yeah, I like my own watch face, though it's not animated. I can try if you can also use animated GIFs and stuff. This one I think is a pretty good broadcast. And I made this thumbnail basically with the missile shield about UN Ambassador Haley accuses Iran of violating nuclear deal. News articles review prevent World War III and create universal peace. The leader of the Jesuits, Adolfo Nicholas, though, they're probably getting a new one soon that may already have influence. The anti-global government movement program, AGGM. That's definitely important broadcasts. Here we see Margaret Chan and George Soros, members of the Committee of 300. They also want to depopulate Earth and they should be arrested. Like all Freemasons should be arrested. But since they control the judges with their directed energy weapons, I think that's not going to happen. The Jesuits and Masons control them according to this picture of Adolfo Nicholas with text. That's from Citizens Action Network on Facebook. He basically controls the intelligence agencies, and all intelligence agencies are Masonic and controlled by the Jesuits, basically, according to this image. So what do you all think? Is it misinformation or is it just the truth? And what if it were all true, then what can we do? What options do we have? Elements of the Vatican seal or logo in the main drawing of the fictional demon Lucifer, Lucifuge, defeated by the Aralim, according to some religious people. Could Lucifer stand for the nuclear holocaust some people want to create to depopulate Earth to 500 million? So people can study that stuff for themselves. I've advised President Trump to have an agreement with President Putin of Russia before taking any action against Iran. If they're sanctions, then that's a different story, basically, but I was thinking more down the lines of bombing, because President Trump's approval rating went up after the bombing of Syria, Syrian airstrips or something. This is also a cool video to watch. It is a bit hard to show these panorama videos because they're high resolution, but perhaps it's working.
This is the Kaufman Beach resort. I hope we can still find the car later today. You can only park for 2 hours. It's really too short if you want to spend some time on the beach. Just walking there and finding the car back can take 2 hours. But I'm thinking, oh, let me near my door. I'm thinking perhaps it's better to walk more that way. Right? If I remember it correctly. Fish and chips. $5. Oh. Hebben ze ook satésaus? Wat? Ah, het zal wel. It's hurting.
So I'm basically going on the pier in Scheveningen. And part of the audio was had to be removed because of copyright, so on the pier they were playing music. And thus we see the whole video. So this is 360 degrees. This here on the left side is the beginning of the right side. So it's all around 360 and 720 degree video. A mosquito, big one. Ugh. It's really pretty big. You're a big fucking mosquito. I have an idea of the size. These are pretty huge. It looks like it had moisture inside, moist, but not blood. So here we are already on the pier. And I like watching this myself, it's really awesome. Oh yeah, with the seagulls. So I can keep it a little softer for the audio. I don't know if you all can play this anyway. It should be playable. Only 3 views. That's weird. Walking from Venice Beach to Santa Monica Pier in Los Angeles has 409,000 views. I don't know if that's also it's a 4K recording. This is also pretty high resolution. It has to be when you're making a panorama. So basically it was edited, audio was supposedly taken out, and Oh yeah, I could edit my must playlist. Oh really? Is it the end already? Okay. Well, more about ISIS, the leader. And, so basically, I'm a conspiracy factist. So I do not have the opinion that it's certain that Bakr al-Baghdadi is in reality Simon Elliot, a CIA agent like Bin Laden, real name Tim Osman. But he could be, and as long as I don't get any evidence that proves it one way or another, I will have no opinion about it. I'm trying to be a professional reporter like Tintin basically, and wishful thinking and stuff that's not gonna help to achieve negligible senescence to control these factors that control aging. So it's better to spend money and time on that, because otherwise we die without controlling the factors that control aging. We all will die. Cool, huh? And my new ring. It's really awesome. It's gold with some real stones, and I like it's original that it's open in front, and this one's also quite original with also with real gold and crystals. So some awesome new items, and I think I'll call it a night. 5:31, 57 seconds. It's 1 second behind or so. And that may have to do with it is weird, and I don't like that you can only adjust the time via connecting it via Cancer Bluetooth. So always when you do that, use aluminum foil, and always keep all your devices in airplane mode, because your health is the most important thing. So you could also search ways to install these watch faces without using any radiation. There are ways. So people will need IT specialist, information technology. AI is already pretty huge, and I think it will grow. I'm trying to think of a term here. Oh wow, it's already pretty late, so then I will end the broadcast. It's all covered in my previous broadcast, so be sure to check it out by clicking on my name right here somewhere. And then you're on my channel, and then you can check my previous broadcasts, which have more important information for universal peace and for this timeline, with all the weapons of self-destruction surrounding us all. I think it's good when people think about how to create universal peace, and also to mention universal peace if you mention war, so that people have a choice, because there are lots of people in the world. So more about all this in my previous broadcast, so be sure to check them out. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all next time in one of my next broadcasts, which might also be about different subjects. I'll have to see what I run into what, for example, let's watch face, and then it's possible that I have more viewers than listed by the YouTube counter, and people with wireless energy can also change that number, so it doesn't have to be a hacker or YouTube itself. Okay, so this is it for now. I hope you all have a good time. Hydrate, breathe, masturbate. If there's no one else to love you, love yourself. And do healing things. Breathing is good. Air cleaner with an ionizer, water filters, radiological and normal. Water and air are important. We use it and our body needs it to live, basically. Single ladies are still welcome, I already said that, so this is really the moment that I will temporarily halt this broadcast for universal peace.